Well, good evening, everyone. It is the eve of Memorial Day, and that would put us at what? Sunday, May the 24th. The time here in the deep piney woods of East Texas is 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The year is 2020 of our Lord. I wanted to preface this before it started. And I wasn't planning on doing a video because people have been screaming about numbers. I want to see. And that's really, at the end of the day, what I knew would happen is that I'm starting these little recordings like this. And please share this with everybody and subscribe to this channel, because all I'm doing now is really killing anxious time that I've got on my hands and just doing a couple of these recordings to keep whoever's out there that may listen, there are a few, and to hopefully have them spread the word, because I am firmly convinced, without one single smidget in my mind, it doesn't make any difference who someone contacts about this platform. And it's beyond a platform. It is a campaign. This is a cultural shift. This is a movement. And it really, truly is. And you're listening to someone talk right here that has very few viewers, and of the viewers or followers, few of those even listen, but you're hearing something that is very rare. And if you use critical thinking and logic and can do math, and I'll help you, and you understand the dynamic, how to multiply, divide, and what have you, and you see the concept, and you grasp the concept. There has been, just my own personal experience, what has to happen in order to win? You have to fight fire with fire on multiple fronts. And the fire that we'll be fighting, it could be an emotional fire that we're fighting. Right now, we've got a lot of emotion going on, and it is a tinder box out there waiting to blow up. Old movie long time ago, I remember, Red Skies over Montana. It was about wildfires. But anyway, we've got the emotion could break loose at any time over wearing mask, or social distancing. People, just stop, look down at yourself and others. And we're talking, even, you can't even say, used to you could say, even if it was the dadgum black plague. Well, they've put enough lipstick on this pig to make the black plague look like a common cold. They have got everybody mentally combobulated. It's DARPA. It is mind control, and no one can actually see that. And if you use the words mind control, MK Ultra, things of that sort, using linguistics and visual technology now, and coming across to where else would you derive your facts, your information intake about what's going on out there? You can't be in D.C. and Shanghai and everywhere else at the same time. You've got to lean on someone and have some trust and faith that they're shooting straight, and they're not. What we used to call news sources, and aren't we sick of hearing the words fake news? But let's stop and accept the simple fact is that most of what everyone's hearing down deep inside, if you don't call it an outright lie, how in the hell could you say that in front of God and everybody and get everybody all confused? How could you say that? You know better. And they know better as well. But there's an agenda. Horses run better when you feed them and water them. They're getting fed and watered real well. Notice that, hell, they don't look like they're missing any meals, and they're damn sure going to get a check. They're the mouthpiece. They're the ones that cause people to focus their attention, and their attention is the most valuable commodity that they've got, and they do not understand the power of collective focused intent mixed with fear. You can get people to jump, and they'll not only jump, but they'll ask you how high. I can do that too. But I've got to get your attention. And we've got to have knowledge, numbers, know-how, and a commitment by everybody, and we can win. And the only way that we can win is we start a complete ecosystem of circulating energy / money / value amongst our members, that we get together and we have questions. We all commit to each individual to supporting other members in micro donations, penny, nickel, dime, quarter. You can hit any one of those buttons as many times as you want until you run out of the amount that you have committed monthly that you would do out of the goodness of your heart to help save this country. Or do you understand what I'm saying? And nowhere along the way did I tell you to give me anything. I didn't. Just like any other member, if I throw something out there, answer a question, ask a good question, post a good picture, show you a fish I caught, smile at you, say something cute, whatever it is, if you gain value, our culture will teach us immediately, instantly, if you gain value in anything you see, hear, or what have you from another member, tip them or show your appreciation to the tune of a penny, nickel, dime, or quarter, or slightly more. We need that. We need that to help us introduce ourselves to each other, and we grow this community to where it is a formidable power. One that they will recognize, and believe you me, they recognize it now. Because I see it, and they know I see it, and they can feel what's coming. But I've got to have your help, and you have got to be the one, whoever's listening to this, whether there's 2 people or 10 million, you are the only one hearing me talk right now. It's the reality of it, isn't it? Nobody can hear these vibrations that you're picking up. Only you are picking those up. They might be receiving something similar if there's other people, or if I was in a football stadium. I'm talking to one person. There might be legions there, but I'm talking to one person. Isn't that amazing? Stop and think about that. They all could not at the same time talk back to me, because it would be an obviously that's would not happen. But I'm a 101 with everyone in that stadium right at this moment, and so would you be, in front of our entire community. We grow this thing to 1 million people. You say something, answer a question, and that community resonates with it. If there's 1 million people and half of them sent you a penny, you just made yourself $5,000. In pens, P-E, I'll explain all that. We have an internal currency that makes this legal in the eyes of Caesar. I need more than anything other members to join this, because it's not that we can't move mountains. Just a couple 300 or a couple 3,000 of us. We need multitudes of focused intent. Information that you have, or questions that you have, that you would pay penny, nickels, dimes, and quarters to get, but you can't buy caps, mugs, and get on every single newsletter and insider deal of all these influencers out there. But one of our members will be inside of those and bring that content back out to us. We will then show our appreciation for the person that went and found the information, as well as the source they got it from, like Jimmy Church, Rex Bear of the Leak Project, Clyde Lewis of Ground Zero, John B. Wells of Caravan to Midnight, and a multitude of others. we can't all listen to the information at the same time. Believe you me, it could very well be. There is a full court press out there to cause each and every one of you that hear my voice, I don't care how much you're making. And by the way, this program, this platform that I'm talking about is open to all, but probably only those who desperately need it or that can see in the future, if they don't do something and do something quite rapidly, that they're going to have problems. Because if you look at what this guy that you're staring at there on the screen, what a black conservative patriot, this is a clip that I'm going to do of his show. I just watched it minutes ago. If you can't see that there is a rat in the woodpile, that there is two sides, that the way that they're looking at this, and you can obviously see which one has not so honorable of intent. Let's just listen for a few minutes and I'll come back and we'll talk more.
There's a difference between people voluntarily choosing to cast a mail-in ballot, as, by the way, more than 1 million people in the state of Michigan choose to do regularly, and mailing everyone a ballot, as they're doing in California, or as they're about to do in the state of Michigan, mail everyone an absentee ballot request form. Because what that does is it brings all these voter roll irregularities into play. So now you've got the guaranteed likelihood of people that shouldn't be receiving a ballot, people that aren't real voters because they've either moved or they're dead, or they're on the roll erroneously. Those people will now have the opportunity, or ballots or request forms will go to addresses for those people. And we know that there are forces out there attempting to sway elections. Look at what happened in Philadelphia recently. An elections judge was just charged with literally stuffing the ballot box. So it's not as if the idea that people are trying to sway elections illegally hasn't been proven. We saw one literally just this week in a major American city.
Listen to this last portion of this segment from CNN, and then listen to the last thing he says. President Trump is right. Republicans will never win with mail-in votes because the DNC already has an operation to steal elections using that method.
Here's my question. Would that outcome be accepted by partisans who'd been conditioned for months to equate mail-in voting with voter fraud? After all, just this past week, President Trump threatened to withhold aid from Michigan and Nevada because of alleged illegal activity related to absentee ballots. And on Thursday night, he was quick to assert, quote, fraud, while embracing a Laura Ingraham tweet that compared grocery shopping to voting. In March, the president said that efforts to expand voting would guarantee, quote, you'd never have a Republican elected again.
That's right. You never would have a Republican elected again because, as I've been saying ad nauseum on this channel, and I will continue to do it through the next election and perhaps election after that, because for me, it is vital that people understand that Democrats steal votes with mail-in voting fraud, with ballot harvesting and everything else. President Trump is right. He's just calling out the scheme, the plot of the left, of the Democrat Party specifically, to steal elections.
The idea that people are trying to sway elections illegally hasn't been proven. We saw one literally just this week in a major American city.
Now let me paint for you this whole thing, and then we'll change topics here. This is how they're doing it. They're doing it right now. They're giving you false polls showing that Biden is beating Trump throughout the nation, and sometimes mentioning that it's close in swing states. A lot of times they just don't even talk about the swing states because the polls actually show that President Trump is a little bit ahead. But they're trying to condition, they're trying to let people, through their brainwashing
Let
method,
me move forward just a little bit.
Presidential race, former Vice President Joe Biden with a lead over President Trump. 48% of the respondents saying that they would vote for Biden if they were to cast their ballots today. As we look at that from last month, that is up 6% for Biden, down 2% for President Trump.
Biden sits at 48%, up 6 points since last month. Trump's at 40, down 2. There is a 27-point gender gap between the two, with Trump leading by 7 points among men, while Biden is up 20 points among women. Biden also has a 64-point lead among African American voters, and Trump trails Biden by 15 points among voters under 45 and by 3 among voters 45 and older. Biden is also up 17 points among voters 65 and older, a group the president won by 7 points in 2016. Now, when voters were asked who would do a better job handling the economy, Trump narrowly leads Biden 45 to 42%. Biden leads the president on the question of who would better handle relations with China, healthcare, and women's rights.
Wow. Paul Ryan's influence in Fox News is starting to be totally apparent. Because let me get this straight. A man who's been in hiding in a basement and his home in Delaware for months now, a man who has gaffe after gaffe, who cannot put together a coherent sentence, who needs teleprompters to know what to say, and even when he's reading over the teleprompters, still misreads things and makes mistakes, has brain freezes, goes on a very popular show among urban blacks, and totally insults African Americans on both sides of the aisle. A man who has corroborated allegations against him in the era of the Yo Tambien, Me As Well movement. A person who is involved in, and now I'm going to cover this later today in this episode, who has total evidence of corruption in Ukraine, including from his own mouth. And a person who is very, very much disliked by a lot of people, is leading nationwide and in key states and in every key demographic over our duly elected and beloved President Donald John Trump, who turbocharged the economy, who has cut taxes, who, working with Congress, passed stimulus bills to help people in this unnecessary crisis we are in the first place, who has taken on China and has exposed the deep state for who they are, who has proven to a whole bunch of Republicans, conservatives, libertarians, and moderates who were unsure of him in 2016 about his promises that he has kept, that he is actually building the wall, that he is actually making changes to and lowering regulation. All those things that people that would have voted for him were unsure are now going to vote for him, even though all of those things are happening in the favor of President Trump and not in the favor of Joe Biden. We're supposed to believe these polls that Joe Biden is leading in all these demographics and that he is going to beat President Trump in 2020. Wow. They really think you are that stupid. Folks, they hate you.
Okay. That is, that's amazing. That is literally amazing, is it not? That's mind-boggling. You see these polls and you just wonder how in the world can they... Joe can't, literally, let's just be candid here. Joe cannot stack a complete sentence. Let's just look at it like this. Let's say that you were in favor of Joe. And you know what Joe's been doing, how he's been acting lately. And you sent him over to the DMZ to talk to Doughboy? I don't think so. Or the Chinese leaders, or there's something breaks out and he's got... No. The only reason he's there, people, accept the facts of what's going on. They're trying to take over this country. So that drives me into a situation to where I've been studying for the last 10 years, really, and everybody wanted to see numbers, and everybody. It's amazing to me. We're going to lose this country if we don't do something very quickly. No one's going to do anything unless there's something in it for them, and it better be damn good and make a whole lot of money doing it. Well, I've got that. I didn't want it to come to this. I didn't want myself to have to get back into a real serious high energy level pitching deal. And I don't think that this is terribly necessary for me to do that now. I don't think. But I created this thing right here, and I can show people. You're a first responder. I need you to contact other people, and I'll show you if you'll do that for me. if you'll just do that for me, I can assure you that I'll make you rich. I'll make you rich beyond your wildest expectations. There's no question about it. There is no question about it. Where is that picture I was going to show y'all? That's not it. Let me pause it. Right, I'll pick this back up here. This is it. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm making this stuff myself without even a programmer, nothing, just throwing something together that people to see. I'm going to tell you right now, if you've got any degree of understanding, I can show you. This is the part of it that I'm after. This is the part over here that's going to blow your dress up. You know, this is the part that a person would receive for helping me bring more minds into this huge community that we need. This is what will make people what you call rich. And I'm talking about if you're willing to put in the work to help me find people and help me educate these people, bring them to our community, get them involved, I'm looking for that researcher out there that you need to help me find, that we all need to know what's on their mind. That's what we're doing. This right here is called the river of rewards, never-ending river of returns or rewards. And every single individual, let's just say that we come in at $100. Oh my God. I throw it in there, you throw it in there, and it's in there, it's in your account. This is just an example, $100. Now, every single one of us throw something in the kitty. It's $100, okay? However, we go back over here to to where you're all about it. Everyone that you bring into this deal, out of that 100, you're going to get 50. You get 10 like this right here. Actually, it's 40. And then I put in it was 50 just for one level, but it's going to be 10 and 40 and 10. It's amazing. You'll see why I did it. When you go over this one over here, and you have a second level, it's where you would lock into around $3,000 in USD in a month's time with just 10 people, helping us save this country. Do you think that you know of 10 people that have a passion for this country? Now, since you're going to be getting damn near half every time someone comes in at 100, it's only 2 to 3 of those people you find, and you're even. You have no more out of pocket. Everything from that point is a reward that you get out of the goodness of everyone's heart. I can show you that with these 10 right here, that what I'm after is everyone out of the 100. You being a first responder, you would get 50 pen, which is the same as $50. Excuse me again. You would get 4 pen, 40 pen, which is the same as $40 USD. 40 pen. A pen is the same as a dollar. That's our internal currency. What we call them is pens, and one pen is equal to $1. So there's 100 pennies in a dollar. There's 100 pennies in our world, which a penny spelled differently. It's spelled with 2 E's instead of a P-E-N-N-Y. Anyway, it's par, so that y'all won't get confused. But everybody throws 50 in the pool. 50 in the pool to give away. Total. 50 in the pool to give away. The other 50 is divided to our first responder program. Whoever told you about this, that's your first responder. They'd get to 40. And whoever brought that first responder in is going to help you learn. This isn't a game. It's going to help you learn this information, and they're both going to help you go out and we explore together. You would explore with them together, getting you your first 10. This is what this represents right here. But everybody, including you, me, everybody, we throw our pens into the pool. Let's say we throw 100 in there. We already know 100 pen, $100 worth. Half of that's going to the first responder program. So the other 50 or 5,000 pennies, you're going to give away to one of the other members. This might sound a little bit confusing. It's not. It is very, 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 very simple. However, here's what I'm after. We throw that in there. Even after the first responder program, you have got 5,000 pins, or you've got 50 pin in there total. Let's go with USD. You're going to have $50 in there. This is for example's sake. Every person here has that. When you got 1,000 people that are contributing 50, do the math. Do the math. Okay, just do the math on this. It's mind-boggling. Just 10 people. By the way, you can go as wide as you wish. But I'm going to explain all this at length, but I'm just sitting here and thought for those that may be watching this. I know Mark does. He's been talking about this, hadn't he, Mark? So this will give you an idea of what I'm doing. Just subscribe to this YouTube, hit the bell, and tell everybody that you know to do this. I can show you that by being, they want urgency and all that kind of thing, all these MLM deals. It does have a degree of that. I'm going to be teaching people how to go and find the influencers, and you'll be on that second level. Every influencer, say if an influencer had 5,000 people, or 400 or 586,000 like SGT, or there's a bunch of them out there like that, bunch. And out of that 500,000 people or 200,000 people, whatever, you just got 10,000 people out of that big old pile that sees the concept here and believes in it 100%. That 10,000, the influencer will be very, very happy as he floats around his boat. But you yourself would get out of that 10,000, you'd get $10 per person. That's right, do the math. This is a high stakes deal, but to me, not just counting forget what you're going to be making. You're going to be making that because I need your mind to help me with this getting people part of that's going into the river here. We will have just with this amount of people here that duplicate one more time. You see 10 people times 10, they go out and get theirs just like you did. That's 100. If those 100 go out and get 10 just like you did and they did, that's 1,000. The next roll up is 10,000. That's $5 million that you have access to a part of that every month. You can go to the river with a coffee cup and you will get a whole coffee cup full of what you're looking for. Work causes money to be in that cup. Or you can come to that river with a 55-gallon drum. River's not going to run dry if you do the work. You can back up there with an 18-wheeler hauling water, a whole truckload, if you do the work. This is a wealth redistribution tool that you're looking at here, and very few people are even aware that this is taking place. This is the key to the gate. This is the greed-based part here that will draw unlimited number of people here to get this part here. But in order to get there, they're going to have to be contributing to the pool, and that's where I live. Because we get 5-10 million a month in here, and these morons out there trying to steal this country, everyone in here will be a patriot because they're going to have to listen to the Constitution. You're going to have to listen to Chrissy Ann Hoss teach the Constitution. You'll get a gold star, literally, each one of those classes you take, and our peers will know who they're dealing with. Someone makes a comment on a post that someone else makes, or makes a comment on a question, and the whole community sees it and flips them. If there's 1 million people or 10 million, flip them a dime if it's really good. Do the math yourself. I don't want to do that. Gets to be a hypey thing. This isn't hype. This is a strategic campaign to get this country back, by monetizing you and your content to make you more so financially stable than you could ever imagine. And you're doing it with truth, honesty, and transparency based on a fair exchange of value. And when the annals of time report, because we're going to write a book as well, I'll tell you about that later. We're going to have it presented to the President of the United States before election, as well as every member of Congress. It's also going to be available to the general public through a major outlet. It's going to be about your story. You're going to tell your story. We'll pick on those. We'll vote on those. The greatest ones will go in, the ones that we like the most. Plus those votes, remember, are cha-ching every vote. So you come up with good content that might make the book, and you might have already hit a big lick getting there. This is an amazing tool. I'm going to stay diligently working on it on your behalf, because we're all winners here, and if we don't do this, we're damn sure all going to be losers. And I'm going to close with this. Once a person who has been honestly mistaken all of their life learns the truth, like he's trying to teach you. Once a person who has been honestly mistaken all of their life learns the truth, they either cease to be mistaken and start speaking the real truth, or they cease to be honest. And I ask you now, what say you? I've also decided that I'm going to teach this course. And I'm going to assure every single individual that takes the course after they make a pledge and a commitment and give their word, that if everything that I say in there after they pay for their tuition is not 100% truthful, honest, and achievable, if they're willing to do the simple work of maybe take a picture or write an article every now and then and support other people, if they can prove that this will not work, the only reason it won't work is if we don't do it. If they can prove me wrong there, it's freebie. Freebie. And you'll be down the road. But you will never prove me wrong. The only reason we want to do this and help save this country is because we just simply don't do it. Hit that little bell down here, that little subscription button. If you hadn't done this, for God's sake, if you can feel me, go get somebody. Tell them to come listen to me. That's all I'm asking you to do at this point. Just get some people to listen, because we're fixing to kick this off. I'm here to win. I'm here to make you more money than you can possibly imagine. I know how to do this, people. I've done it before. I'm writing one right now that's going to make history. And you could be right there at the very beginning and stack yourself more of this value, I call it energy, or what you call money, than you can possibly imagine in helping me save this country. Go tell somebody. Go find somebody. If you're seriously wanting to do something with zero risk, if you're willing to share your passion, your story about how much you love this country, do you think that that wouldn't resonate with someone? By God, it will, and I'll show you how to do it. Love each and every one of y'all. I'm going to let you go now. Go out, create a wonder-filled day. That is by choice. Smile at a stranger. You'll never know when you're in the midst of angels. And I'll see you on the flip side. This is Ramblin' Randy. We down. I want to come back in here and touch base one more time here with, I wanted to leave it with this. It's a wonderful guy. You need to come over here, and it's the Black Conservative Patriot. He's got 419,000 subscribers. I can sure help him out if we can just reach this man right here. Do your best. I'm trying to myself. Ramblin' Randy. We down.